If you are a UK crafter and you want to know how to make a suspended snow globe tumbler just like this one without having to import ingredients like magical liquid from the USA, then I'm about to show you how you can do that using products made here in the UK, and you can thank me later. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here or you've not seen my face before, my name is Hannah. I run a small business, the Little Isla Co, a glitter supply business, bringing you the sparkliest glitters in the glitterverse. I am a crafter turned supplier, so whilst my main business is selling the product, here on YouTube I post videos like small business days in the life, studio vlogs, and then lots of tutorials and inspiration videos just like this one. So if you would like to learn how to make this for yourself, then please keep watching. So the product that we're going to be using today to create the suspended solution is, in my opinion, a game changer for us UK crafters. So in the past, in order to get a true suspended solution, in my opinion, the only way was to use the Elmer's magical liquid, but the US one, because the UK version had an ingredient that was missing. That ingredient is the crucial ingredient to create that suspended look, and without it, it's just like using water. Hello. Every video you feel the need to make a cameo. Come on. So no longer do we have to have such a kerfuffle in order to make a suspended solution, because enter the magical solution from Crafty Drunkin Planet. So Andrea is the owner of Crafty Drunkin Planet, and she is the loveliest soul. So she kindly asked me if she could gift me some of her magical solution to try out for her. And honestly, from the get-go, I was blown away. I truly believe, and I know I've said this already, but I truly believe that what Andrea has created, I don't know what is in this, but whatever she has put together, she's like a wizard, because she has replicated the US magical liquid style solution. This is not in any way, I am not affiliated with Andrea. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not receiving any money to make this video. She did kindly gift this to me, but I am just so truly blown away that I felt the need to share this, because this is going to take the crafting community to a whole new level. So I am going to show you how to use it, how to make the snow globe, the suspended snow globe, and I will list all of the products used in the description below, so you can go and get one of these for yourself. I believe Andrea has multiple different solutions available to purchase. So I believe she has a slow flow, a medium flow, a fast flow, and then she has this one, which is the suspended solution. But it can also be used to make a colourful swirl tumbler, which, if you've never seen one of those before, I will insert some images or footage here so that you can see what I'm talking about, because this can be used for that as well. So let's get into it. So I have already mixed up, I did around about 75% magic solution, 25% distilled water-ish. But in my experience with magical solution, at least anyway, you can't really go wrong. Like I didn't even measure it. I mean, look, you can see there's lots of air bubbles in there. It's because I've shaken it up, whoopsie. Andrea will tell me off for that because you're not meant to shake it up. But yeah, I literally just eyeballed it. So I kind of poured in a bit of distilled water. I will link the distilled water in the description box as well, because it has to be distilled. You cannot use mineral water or bottled water or what's the other one I get asked about? Deionized water. None of those work. It has to be distilled water, otherwise you run the risk of mold growing in your tumblers, which nobody wants that. So just mix it up in one of these little, I normally don't like this style of squeezy bottle, but my normal ones are all full of regular solution, so I have to use this one. This is honestly the most straightforward process when you know how. So you're just going to take your solution mixture and your double-walled tumbler. I'm using an acrylic one. And so I tend to fill the tumbler, well, in this case, I tend to fill it to about there. maybe a third of the way up with the solution. Then I put the glitter in and then I fill it up to the top with the solution. And what you will find, you will see that you will end up with like a sandwich look. So you'll end up with solution, glitter, solution, because the way that this solution is made, it will not mix on its own like with water. So you will see the sandwich and then all we're gonna do is shake the living daylights out of it and it will produce this kind of look. First step is to fill, and bearing in mind, this stuff is thick and it moves slow. So you want to take it really slowly. You may need to do it in stints. So you might want to do a little bit like this and just let that. I mean, this is real time. Look at it just sat there. That is how thick this stuff is. So you may want to just take this slowly, but you want to get to about a third full. That's the first step. So then once you're happy that you have filled your tumbler as high as you want it, like I say, just eyeball it, but I've done it to about there. Then you can start to put in your glitter. Do not panic about these air bubbles. These are particularly bad because I shook up the solution just before I started this video. So don't do that, but they will degas on their own. So when you finish making a suspended snow globe tumbler, you will need to degas it exactly the same way that you would with a regular snow globe tumbler. If you don't know what degassing means, it is basically just the process of the glitter or whatever you've got in your tumbler saturating with the solution. And what happens is, as the solution saturates the glitter and it frees up trapped air, the air naturally rises to the top of the tumbler, and then you will end up with a big bubble at the top, which you can then top up with solution at the end, so that you don't end up with bubbles in the finished product. Degassing is basically just the process of freeing the trapped air in the tumbler, and you will need to do that with this one as well. This is the UDTF that I'm going to put on the tumbler, and so I've decided I'm going to use this glitter with it. This is, so you will see it like this in my shop. This is called Afterglow, but obviously I have my own stash of every glitter, so I'm going to be using this one. This is a glow in the dark pink glitter. And I just fancied using that one today, and I felt like it went well with this design. You can eyeball the amount of glitter. I tend to go quite heavy with glitter because I just like it to be really, really saturated with glitter and no gaps. So this is just a regular hand massage tool. I would strongly, strongly recommend that you get yourself one of these for this purpose alone, if you don't already. They're not expensive. I will list this one in the description box for you. This is just from Amazon, and honestly, you can handshake glitter in. Of course you can, but I'm telling you now, it will take you forever and a day, to the point where you will want to give up if you try and do this by hand. So I honestly would suggest getting one of these, and you will see how quickly the glitter just falls straight into the tumbler. Right, yeah, my glitter funnel is failing me right now. This is not good. Oh dear, won't be using that one again. This is why I do not like these acrylic funnels. I like to just stick to my good old friend, masking tape. So let's just give the top of this a quick clean over. So once you're happy with the amount of glitter that you have inside your tumbler, I would probably even put in a little bit more, but just for the sake of this video, we're just going to carry on. So then you do the second part of the sandwich method, which is to fill your tumbler to the top with the rest of the solution. Just bear in mind again, you will need to take it slowly, even more so now because there is now glitter in there. which will obviously trap the solution and slow down its movement. So just be patient with it, go slowly. Right, she is pretty much as full as she's gonna get. So there is a teeny tiny little air bubble at the top here, but that will, once it's all shaken up and degassed, it will all go anyway, and then you can just top it up with solution. So once you are happy that it is full up, we're gonna do the shaking. This is where the magic happens. If you have snow globe stoppers or cork stoppers or anything like that, now is the time to put your stopper in. If not, just block it over with some tape and some kitchen roll, just to block the hole. And then we are honestly just going to shake the living daylights out of it. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna give you a bit of an arm workout. You want to keep shaking until your tumbler looks something like this, where the glitter is essentially dispersed throughout the entire thing. What you will notice, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, do you see this huge air bubble here? That, at this stage, that is what you want to see, because what that means is that the glitter is dispersing, the air is freeing, and it will take time, but it will eventually rise all the way to the top, leaving you with a big air bubble around your tumbler hole. And then when that comes, you can then just top it up with solution and you're done. In my experience, it takes 2 to 3 days at least for a suspended snow globe tumbler to degas properly. And then a true suspended solution will remain like this for weeks. I have seen it before when I have made suspended snow globes where weeks and weeks, sometimes even months later, I go to get the tumbler out of the cupboard and it is still fully suspended, or at least 90% suspended. This is the other one that I made a few days ago, and this is, I mean, you can see that it's literally still completely suspended. I want to say a humongous congratulations to Andrea from Crafty Drunkin Planet, because like I said before, I honestly believe that what she has created is the UK's answer to the US Elmer's magical liquid. I will link it in the description so you can get hold of it. I believe she does different size bottles. I think you can get, I think this one must be a litre because it's quite a big bottle, but I believe she does them in smaller bottles as well if you wanted to just buy one to try out. Or you can take my experiment as gospel and stock up on this bad boy. And then in the meantime, while I wait for this to degas, because I'm impatient, I'm going to get the UV-DTF on. So I'm going to do that now. The UV-DTF is on, so this is pretty much ready to go with the exception of sealing it up. So I'm going to leave this to degas for probably 3 days. I'm not going to touch it for the whole 3 days. I'm not even going to shake it to get the air bubbles up, nothing. I'm going to literally leave this to sit still for the next 3 days, and then I will come back and seal it with you, and then we can see how truly suspended this stays in 3 days. Right, we're back. So it's been 4 days since I made this. I left it an extra day, and look, I physically have not touched it. I haven't shaken it, I haven't, nothing. I've just looked at it every now and again, and this is 100% suspended. Like, there is no doubt about that. That is a suspended solution. So now I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this on the camera, but it has obviously degassed. over the course of the past 4 days, there is barely, in fact there is not a bubble in sight. So all the air has risen to the top. You may be able to see here, that is the gap that we are left with. So I'm now going to top this off with the remaining solution, and then we're going to seal this up, and then it's done. This, in case, I think I did say before, but this glitter is glow in the dark. So stick around to see the glow. There are several different ways that you can seal a snow globe tumbler. Most people use the little silicone stoppers. They act as like a little plug to prevent any solution coming out from the hole, but I don't have any stoppers to hand at the moment, so I am going to go old school. So I'm just using, you can use Gorilla Dots, glue dots, or Gorilla tape, that's why I said Gorilla. I have been using Gorilla mounting tape squares for the longest time, just because they are already cut to little square sizes like that, then you can just trim them to size, and they're double-sided. So once you place it down and then you peel the other bit of tape off, when you then resin over the top of it, because of the adhesive on that Gorilla square thing, it just adheres the resin even stronger. So if you have a stopper, you can use stoppers. If not, in my opinion, this is a perfectly good alternative. So once you've got your sealing or your stopper, whatever you're using, then you need to get some UV resin. Any good quality UV resin will do. I am using today the Apex resin, UV resin. With the first layer of sealing your any snow globe tumbler, you just want to put a really little amount just over that bit where the hole is. So this is how it's looking after that 90 seconds is up. As you can hear, it's completely cured just over that first area. Normally at this point, I would then turn the tumbler and leave it for like 12 to 24 hours just on a piece of kitchen roll, and then come back to it just to make sure that that first seal has thoroughly cured and there's not going to be any leaks. The worst thing you want is a leak. However, I have made so many of these in my time that I am at the point where I feel comfortable that I kind of know if it's going to leak or not, and with this I can feel that it won't, it's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this seal. So the next step for me is to then cover over the rest of the base with some more UV resin, a very thin layer, and I mix the same glitter that's inside the tumbler into this UV resin just for completeness, so that you end up with a matching bottom to the rest of the tumbler, and then we will go in with a final layer all over of just a clear UV resin layer. There we go. That is the suspended snow globe tumbler after 4 days of standing still, has not moved at all sealed and ready to go. So the last thing to do is a blow test for the glitter. So I'm just going to put this in the window for literally about a minute. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please make sure you give the video a like so that I know to make more of them. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you. I have many other tutorial videos, inspiration videos. I have some if you scroll back to the beginning of my YouTube journey, and there will be many more to come. So watch this space. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.